We interrupt your regularly scheduled program because the chefadent of the United States is cooking up something, and y'all need to stop what y'all doing and watch. Let's go, chef! Best kept Secret Service agent number 1 to best kept Secret Service agent number 2. That was a tongue twister. I'm now on site with the chefadent. I'm going to scan the perimeter to make sure it's safe for the chefadent to exit the vehicle. Wah, 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 wah. Roger that. Best kept Secret Service agent number 2. The perimeter is clear. I see no threats to the chefadent. No possums, squirrels, foxes, bobcats, raccoons, opossums, or anything like that is in the area. All clear, Mr. Chefadent. Where in the country, dirt road, backwoods has my driver taken me to? I know you have to move below the radar when you're the chefadent, but this is way below the radar.
Let's go, Chef! Chef Anthony Albritton here, the Carolina cook, cooking, tasting, and eating the Carolinas. I am the chefadent of the United States.
Now let's get out of these woods. Yo, home's to Bel Air.
Let's go, Chef! Let's go, Chef!
Hey, driver, put that Carolina Cook Show theme song on for me. Yes, sir, Mr. Chefadent.
If you know the song,
Foodtainment in the building. Let's go, Chef!
It's the Carolina Cook, the Carolina Cook, and the Carolinas, rock and roll to the roll, the rock. Say I'm cooking in the kitchen and just don't stop. Rock and roll to the roll, the rock. Say I'm cooking in the kitchen and just don't stop.
Before we get into this video, y'all, I want y'all to know and understand that I never seen anyone cook this dish anywhere else before, so it's exclusive. All right? You seen it here first. All right? But it was inspired by Jamaican food. Welcome to the Carolina Cook Show. I hope y'all chilled to the next episode, which is now. So in this episode, I will be cooking up some
Go, chef. Shrimp and salmon escovitch with peas and coconut rice. A Jamaican-inspired dish. Southern playalistic soul food. Once you get on it, you can't get off.
This is just a little Jamaican-inspired dish, okay? Because I'm sure I don't have a lot of the original ingredients, such as Scotch bonnet peppers. And I'm sure I might be adding some seasonings to this stuff that don't belong. But I'm just here to cook
it up.
I'm not here to really insult anybody's culture, all right? I'm just about to make this work for me. When you're cooking, you gotta make it work for you, okay? Get your Goya all-purpose seasoning, granulated sugar, chicken bouillon, garlic powder, cooking oil, red kidney bean, coconut milk, allspice, thyme, green onion, carrots, peppers, Scotch bonnet, habanero, whatever you decide to use. Red, yellow, and green bell peppers.
Jamaican colors.
White onion. Distilled white vinegar.
Down, sit, hood.
And some parboiled long grain rice. Parboiled. And get your garlic. And of course, you're gonna need some water. And come with me. Take a trip inside of my mind. And see how I did it. Let's go, chef!
All right, I'm going to start with some long grain parboiled rice. You want to rinse all of the starch out of the rice. You see that the water is white. That's because it's full of starch. You want to rinse it until the water is clear. If you don't get all of the starch out of your rice, it will end up mushy. All right, parboiled rice cooks quicker. It's going to cook even faster because I have it pre-soaking. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my kidney beans to the pot with about, let's say, 2.5 to 3 cups of water. Nah, let me keep it a bean. Let me keep it a buck. Let me keep it 100. What I did was add about 2.5 cans of water from the bean can. I filled the bean can up. All right. Not actually cups. Hood measurements.
Let's add some Goya all-purpose seasoning to that. It already has salt in it. Little chicken bouillon.
That also has salt in it, which is why I won't be using any salt.
Gonna add some allspice. Let's add some granulated garlic. Now I'm gonna close the casket on these beans. That top barely made the cut.
I'm going to let these beans boil for 15 to 20 minutes. Since they were canned, they were already pretty much soft.
Okay, now I'm going to cut my scallions. I'm going to cut the roots off because I always replant the roots. So let's cut those off. I'm going to plant those. These are going to be nice and healthy right here, I can tell.
Now I'm going to cut the thick portions of the green onion stalks off. I want to use those portions so I don't have so much loose leaves to pick out of my rice once the rice is done. Then I'm going to add 1 habanero pepper. Then I'm going to add a couple sprigs of thyme. Then I'm going to add 1 whole can of coconut milk. You don't have to worry about this mixture getting lost in your rice as far as the peppers and onions goes, because it's going to lift right back up and float up to the top after you add your rice. So what I'm going to do is let this cook for a few minutes. Let these flavors infuse. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my parboiled rice. The rice is going to take less time to cook because it's parboiled, number 1. And number 2, I had it soaking in water. All right. So I'm going to add that to the rice. The beans, I mean. Then I'm going to cover the top of the pot with aluminum foil. Then place the pot top on top of the foil. That's going to create a steaming process that cooks up the rice real nicely. Trust and believe your boy. You will love the results. What I've seen some Jamaicans do was like wet up a paper bag and set that paper bag on top of the rice, then place the top on there. Okay, once that rice is going, I'm going to go ahead and just start prepping my veggies for the Escovitch. Now, you know, in chef school, they teach us something called mise en place, which means everything in its place, everything in place. So you're supposed to have all your prep work done already. But hey, I didn't do that. Okay. Even those who didn't go to chef school used to do a lot of prepping. Like my mama, those used to prep food for Sunday dinner on Saturday. You know, so sometimes prepping cuts time. But long story short, I didn't do my prepping. So while the rice is going, I'm going to go ahead and prep my veggies now. Okay. So basically what I have done here was cut up my carrots, my green, yellow, and red bell peppers, and peel my garlic and sliced up my carrots and cut my onions into onion rings. The garlic will be for my fish and shrimp. And I'm also going to reserve a whole habanero pepper for my fish and shrimp as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this Escovitch. It's going to be real quick and simple, y'all. We're going to add some white distilled vinegar to the pot, bring it to a little boil. It's just a quick pickling process is all it is. So the results is just going to be a pickle, fruit, and veggie mix with a kick from the peppers. All right. I got to correct myself because earlier I called everything veggies when everything with a seed is a fruit and everything without a seed is a veggie. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some allspice to the vinegar and follow that up with some granulated sugar. Then I'm going to add my habanero peppers. Y'all, add the amount that you can handle. Okay, I ended up taking some of these back out after I tasted it. You may need a mask when you're cooking this because the fumes from the vinegar and the peppers will run you out of the kitchen. All right, first you want to add your carrots to the mix. Let those boil for about 30 seconds or so. You know, you want them tender, but you don't want them too tender. You want a snap and a crunch to them still. Then you want to go ahead and add your onions and your peppers. All right, and this is simple, y'all. You just let it boil for a few minutes till everything gets slightly tender, but yet still has a crunch. Then you remove it from the heat, put it on reserve until it's ready to serve. And for the last part of the dish, y'all, we're going to go ahead and add some pure canola oil, a good heart-healthy oil, to a skillet. Then I'm going to add my garlic and Scotch bonnet, not Scotch bonnet, my garlic and my habanero. And once that oil begins to fry that garlic and habanero, that's when you know it's about ready. But at the same time, if you want further assurance, you want your oil to be at least 350 degrees. Then what I'm going to do is season my shrimp and my salmon up with the Adobo all-purpose seasoning and the granulated garlic and the chicken bouillon. But before I add it to the pan, I'm going to go ahead and rub the shrimp and the salmon down with the seasoning to make sure I got proper coverage. And if my inner chef tells me to add more seasoning, that's what I'm going to do if it doesn't look right after that. Let's go ahead and drop the shrimp. The sound of frying is so satisfying. It's like rain dropping on the rooftop. You can't let it relax you and put you to sleep like rain does, though, because you may end up burning your kitchen down. I think I'm going to go ahead and play it safe and remove this pepper from the oil right now. I think I got as much heat as I can tolerate from this pepper. I don't want to go over my tolerance level. Now, what I'm doing is just frying this shrimp until it changes colors. Then I'm going to remove it from the pan. And yes, in the process, I am rotating and flipping the shrimp. I'm not just letting it sit in one place. Okay, y'all, let's get started on this salmon. What I'm going to do with this salmon is go ahead and put it presentation side down, skin side up, so that I could get a nice sear, a nice char on the top, a nice crisp on the top. Then after about 5 to 7 minutes of cooking it, or until I see the proper level of crisp on it, I'm going to oil the bottom up so that it doesn't stick, just to take precaution. Oil the bottom of it up, baste it, then flip it and finish it up on the bottom side, on the skin side. Now I'm going to let the skin side go longer than usual because I want it nice and crispy, because I want to be able to eat this salmon skin. So I'm going to let it go for like 10 minutes or so, being mindful to continue to baste it to make sure it doesn't lose moisture. Okay, now that the bottom side is nice and crisp, I'm going to flip it back over and give the presentation side a further crisp. Then I'm going to remove it from the pan and we're done. And there you have it. Shrimp and salmon, Escovitch with red beans and coconut rice. Then to hit it with that finishing touch, you just want to add some of that pickled juice to your shrimp and your fish for extra flavor.
Cooking is my specialty. Getting dirty in the kitchen like ODB. Turning these groceries into delicacies. The Carolina cook got the recipe. The Carolina cook got the recipe. The Carolina cook got the recipes.
The salmon. The Escovitch takes some getting used to. That pickle taste with the seafood. Yes, sir. I don't think the Escovitch is to be eaten alone. I think it's to be paired with your seafood. And lastly, the shrimp. You seen it here first. Thank y'all for watching.
Like, comment, share the love, and subscribe to get me into the rhythm of the algorithm. And just remember, when it's a challenge to see or get to the big things, that's not haters. That's just God making sure that you see and appreciate the little things for how big they really are. That's when you learn what the little things had to get through just to make it to you. Just to get to you. Blessings don't just come. They have to get through all of your cursors. All the people that's trying to curse you and all of this, they got to get through all of that first. That's why I celebrate every ray of light that shines through the dark to get to me.
That's why the small things are big to me.
Because they can't stop it. It gotta come through. It gotta come through. Y'all just chill to the next episode. Let's go, chef.